Hello my friends, and welcome back to our blind let's play Ace Attorney Investigations 2 feature Miles Edgeworth the Prosecutor Path. My name is FlightlessBird, this is our Skippy channel, and today we are going to continue on with case number 3, the inherited turnabout. As yes, we are finally beginning to see the truth. I pretty sure I believe I know what's going on. We just got to nail this down once and for all. So let's get going, shall we? Hope we're all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. Are you saying you have found some evidence to show us that truth? No, there is no need to present any evidence, since we can just have Mr. Gustavia tell us the truth. Ah, so this is where you use that, right? Indeed. Mr. Gustavia, there is one thing I want you to tell me. Hold the dirt, sir. I said, Mr. Gustavia, there is one thing I want you to tell me. What is it? During the finals of the contest, you made your desserts on your own. I want to compete for the title, the world's greatest pastry chef on my own merits. If that was truly the case, you would have completed on your own merits from the start. I want you to tell me why it was necessary for you to cooperate with Isaac Dover. Logic chess, here we go! During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavia collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder what made them to decide to cooperate in the first place. That's what I need to draw out from him, but... Whoa! That was a lot of pieces. It seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. First, I'll ask about why he collaborated with Mr. Dover. The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today. Isn't that kind of obvious why they collaborated? Because they were friends from before, right? Why did you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover? Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together. Joining forces with a sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities? You know nothing about me. We want to make great works together. Wait and see. He looks agitated. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start. Really? So were you going to share the title of world's greatest pastry chef together? So here's where we press. I'm unsure. As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie? Bam! Yeah! Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe. I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured. Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I better return to the infirmary. Wait a moment. In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man. It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. Okay, that's a cool little power up there. I didn't really need it, but that's kind of nice. I need to keep the pressure on him while being cautious of the time. Do you want to appear on piece of cake? Normally it seems like you always do the first choice first. Do you want to appear on Mr. Master's TV show? I believe it was called Shake a Bake, was it not? That's a cool name too, though. I'm pretty sure it's called Piece of Cake. Would you really want to see me dance a bit while I make desserts? La 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 la. No, probably not. No. That probably wouldn't be too popular with the kids either. Exactly. I know my limitations. I have no interest in that kind of theatrical tomfoolery. Sir, prosecutor, you should think about who you are talking to before asking the questions. I understand. I should refrain from making unnecessary statements. Oh wow, actually the top response was a bad one for a change. I must read my opponent's reactions and emotions and strike with the right words. Did you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value. How dare the likes of you insult the title of the confectionery artiste? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef. Wait and see. 18 years ago, I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now. Oh, are you saying you have improved at your craft? Exactly, for I trained at the Republic of Zingfa. Wait and see. Yes. At the time, I also studied Mr. Master's works. I would often watch the show with my son. So, you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest. Perhaps. To a pastry chef, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold. He's meditating. Hit him. If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the Angel's recipe. Bam! The recipe is the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would be a problem. I wonder about that. The Angel's recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all of the contest participants should have been aware of that. Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now, to slowly but surely drive him into a corner. Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. Do you know this? That's probably not the right one. The Angel's recipe, do you know its true value? I didn't even bother clicking on it once because the bottom line is, the way this kind of works with the time limit is if you get it wrong, it's almost like if you just stopped and like read both of them and then decided on which one's best. So you might as well just go for it. It's the one fault I have with the logic chest, but I really love the logic chest. It's so cool. Silly question. It contains Sir Master's best dessert recipes. Any pastry chef with result would want it. It seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Yeah, or you get something like this, where you're basically told, oh, come back to this one later. Maybe I should try another line of attack. So then just do the second one. Did you intend to win the Angel's recipe and use it to make desserts? Of course. By obtaining the Angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training. I hear the Angel's recipe was worth a lot of money. I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold. Alright, attack. Seem to know a lot about the book. You seem to know quite a lot about the Angel's recipe. It was explained to all the contestants participating at the beginning of the contest. In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts at all. Impressive, Sir Prosecutor! So you know the true nature of the Angel's recipe? The Angel's Recipe, some called it the Ultimate Recipe Book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market. He knew the recipes were actually formulas for new medicines. This could be a useful clue. Alright, now we need to go back to the first one. Looks like that clue will come in handy. You may have studied design in Zhangfa. However, your skills in lying could use more work. You just said earlier that the Angel's Recipe contained formulas for medicines. I didn't get it bust through yet. You weren't interested in desserts. You wanted the medicine formulas. Oh. He needs to do medicine. For what, though? That's the only logical explanation, right? Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about the new medicine. Alright, we got an explosion. Although I'm not exactly sure what he needs. Some sort of new medicine. Heck, I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes. My goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. At the time, my son was ill. I need the recipe for the medicine. Your son was ill? Ah, okay. So he was doing it to save his son. Tell me more about that. To protect my son's honor, I can say no more. Judging by the worried look on his face and the fact that he's sweating bullets, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness. Alright, got more time on the clock, that's good. This is it. This will be my final move of the game. What's the name of the illness? Was something like this book only had the only cure? Seems most logical. Did the Angel's Recipe have the only cure? Yes. Though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continue making my desserts without joining the others for tea time. So, you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making. You sure seemed confident in your chances of winning. I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts. Wait and see. My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary. Wait, I was too passive there. Really? Really? Okay, let's try it again. I think I'm on the right trail here with this, though. You just said earlier that you study Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well. No break yet. There was time to sample the other desserts in the contestants, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it. Really? No flavor? What? I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well. Yeah, kind of. So everything he ate tasted flavorless. This could be a useful clue. I don't think this is the right choice, but let's go with it. What kind of person was your son? My boy! He loved the desserts that he made. Did you enter the contest solely for your son? Sir Prosecutor, you can never understand the feelings a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness. Wait and see. I don't doubt that. I firmly believe he's telling the truth. Oh, the dots. Until the semifinals, my son will always drop by the contest venue to play. Is that so? When did he get in your way? I doubt he had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master. That may be so, but I want to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts. I think I need to press here. About your son. If he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you? That's not a break. My son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening. That might serve as a clue. Okay, so we have 2 clues now. What is the name of the illness? What was the name of your son's illness? Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you. My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you. You just said he wasn't seriously ill, though. Looks like, yeah, the clue will come in handy. It wasn't life-threatening. Exactly. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it? Oh, this is a cool logic test. I have to use both of the clues on this response. It was enough to keep him from living a normal life. That must have been difficult for your son. I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loved so much. Was he too fat? Wait and see. My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary. I was too passive. Darn it. Alright, let's do this again. What's the name of the illness? It's obviously not the fat one. I mean, that was just cruel. We're losing time, though. So it's gotta be the first choice. Taste disorder. The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder. Oh, does his son have the same, I forgot what it's called. Agosia? Was it? What? He had it too? He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder. Go! I didn't think you could figure it out so quickly. In order to cure his son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal? It's as you say. Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears as he is hiding something. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Alright, let's go with this. Wait, he has the illness too? That's why I can't taste anything. Oh. Being unable to taste anything, regardless of what you eat, such a bitter illness. That reminds me, did you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavors, so I didn't feel like eating any of it, wasn't it? Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. Didn't break yet. It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself. Ugh! That's completely ludicrous! 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself. Didn't you collaborate? I think I'm onto something. Clock is ticking down too. It seems you caught yourself in a contradiction. Did you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can only say you made the desserts all by yourself. Bam! Yeah! Go! You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef. But to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant, you did it all to cure your own disease. Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It's as you say. The one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I. No one knew. I kept it a secret for 18 years. It doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dean Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines. Gustavia to cure his condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that, checkmate. Woohoo! Logic chess complete. I have never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago. Taste disorder? It was a severe disorder. It was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the only one illness a pastry chef dreads above all. Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder. Mr. Master's condition is known as hypogeusia. That was it. It simply causes a decrease in sensitivity to certain specific flavors. I am sure it has caused Sir Master much pain, too. After all, no medication was available to cure 18 years ago. In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's angel recipe. And that's why you entered the contest, am I correct? That was one of my goals, but I still had my sights set on the title, the world's greatest. When it came to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still had the utmost confidence in my flavors. Oh? So I presumed you also prepared your dessert in the finals with the intent to win. That goes without saying. According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was up until the semifinals. I forgot his voice. Oh my god, I forgot his voice. It's been so long since I've seen Master on screen. Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to go watch one of my videos. Wow. Up until the semifinals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. It seems the dessert you made in the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor. Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made your dessert during the finals. Very well. It seems I must teach you upsets a lesson. Yeah, actually I had to go back and watch a clip from my previous video. I can only imagine that I'm going to have to do that when Your Turn to Die hits, right? Because the last Your Turn to Die episode was a long time ago. And once the final part is released, I'm going to have characters that I'll be... I'm not really sure what to do with them. Anyway, so Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the favor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I want to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? This is the truth of 18 years ago. I can't find any contradictions in his testimony. Well, of course he isn't going to face up so freely, you know? Now this guy's been on the run up to 18 years after all. Guess we'll just have to keep on pressing him until he breaks, eh? Yes. Alright, dessert for the finals. So Joe and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the favor, he was in charge of the design. So, Mr. Dover took care of the design while you handled the flavor. Sir Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together. You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia? Huzzah! Oh, look at the little birdie! Oh, that's so cute. What do you think of this? That's the symbol of Zhang Fa. That was such a cool thing. I like that. Wow, a phoenix. That's really good. Whoa, you really have improved these past 18 years. Wow! Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I put my life and limb on the line for the dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals. However, for the finals, I want to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. So, you were really serious about the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef? Yes. Confectionery is my life. Naturally, I want to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef. But your goal was also obtain the angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this. Oh, come on, Judge. Alright, look how much he's sweating. He's obviously up to no good. My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia. Gah. I realize he's still recuperating, but... Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony. I hope Sir Dover make his entry, but I make mine completely on my own. So, you helped Mr. Dover with his dessert, but made yours all by yourself. No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why didn't Mr. Dover assist you? Yeah, because you wouldn't have had the style that he has, but he has your cooking. It matters not how it seems. It is the truth. I did not know what Sir Dover was thinking. It's hard to prove if someone is lying about something that happened 18 years ago. Hey, Kay, does your secret weapon also work as a lie detector? If it did, I'd have already sold Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight. Yeah, huh? There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself. No technology needed. Dane Gustavia, please continue with your testimony. The flavor of my entry was good enough. My own lack of training was to blame. Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise for the flavor of your desserts. Was there some sort of accident during the finals? Nothing of the sort. I simply was unable to taste my work due to the taste disorder. My intuition must have been off, but that's all. Then, was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day? We're not getting anywhere at this rate. Should I change the topic? I guess stop at the top, work my way down? Ask about the semifinals. So, you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semifinals and the finals? Yes. Well, that's right. Aside from not cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals. So, you were still able to make the desserts without Mr. Dover's assistance? I may have lacked design sense, but I was confident in the flavor. Apart from the design, there were no major differences between my finals and semifinals entries. Huh? Well, that sure is strange. I saw how Uncle Ray remembers it. I'm pretty sure both the look and taste of the final dessert scored poorly. Then there was no way he could have won the contest. Even the flavor, which he was so confident about, failed to materialize during the finals. Something must have changed besides Mr. Dover's cooperation, but what? All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys I need to unravel them. I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my fathers gathered. So something's wrong with that last statement then, right? Aside from cooperating, the finals weren't much different. I have to have evidence here that says they are different. But what is the evidence? Not that. Not that. Not that. I'm not sure. 18 years ago, Dover used this to carry his ice sculptures. They always came to visit up until the finals. His son is the taste tester. His son is the taste tester. Don't you get it? Gustavia's son always came to visit up until the finals, but his taste was poor in the finals. But his son always tastes the food first. So his son told his dad that the taste was off in the semifinals. But since he wasn't there in the finals, that's what was different. Oh, that's clever. Oh, that's clever. There was another difference between the semifinals and finals. This photo depicts your son. We know he came to visit you up until the finals.
Huh, that is correct. What does that have to do with anything?
Your son, who always came to see you through the semifinals, was not present for the finals. And then it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. I don't either. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not? Wow, he pumped that one up really fast.
A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts.
Mr. Gustavia sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he? If what he's saying is the whole truth, one could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner, confident in his sense of taste, develops a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did?
You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have been besides cheer me on?
He's the one who tasted it. Yeah? I'm sure your elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts.
Of course! My son always loved my desserts.
In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place.
Well, what did you say?
Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder.
I have never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor. That was a lot of dots. Your son didn't just cheer you on. He also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct.
Oh. Why, see? Mr. Dover's desserts was made the day before, so it still tasted good. Huh? What are you saying? It's quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assists me as a taste tester? You are insulting my pride.
Your pride?
It's true. I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture. You upstart.
In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm if my theory is mere conjecture.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son.
Wait, what? What?
After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Zingfa immediately. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
Why? What? Don't tell me. You would even abandon your own son?
That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown.
Wow, so we have a bad dad in As Dusk Falls, now a bad dad here in Ace Attorney 2 at the same time.
The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him. You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. Desserts are the only things that are important to me. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered.
Order in the court! Mr. Gustavia's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we are not here to judge whether or not he is a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss.
Look at the way you laugh with this one eye open. It's really creepy. After all, there's no evidence left from 18 years ago that can prove your theories.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, where are those results?
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir.
Right, I leave it to you, Detective. I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. If only I knew who that blood belonged to. Oh my god. Are you telling me that the blood was his son? Please tell me that's not true.
Miles, still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray. That was Mr. Gustavia's only reason to come into the archive to check on the body.
If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case.
Well, that's right. Is there a way we can prove this?
There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Just the person I was talking about. Detective Gumshoe, I trust that you have the test results.
Hey, Gumshoe to the rescue. Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab. Detective, please be silent. So, this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about. Hey, what's this? This is the first I've heard of it.
This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence, what you should have done.
Why is everyone always helping you out? I'm the one in charge of the crime scene.
Mr. DeBest. I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear his report first?
Sure.
Detective Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's the report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to the victim of the poison gas stained in Gustavia.
What are you saying? Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought, my theory was correct.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? I'm lost here too.
We too would like an explanation. What on earth does his blood prove?
This blood is something the culprit of the IS-7 incident tried to conceal.
It can't be that.
This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dover's blood.
Ooh, checkmate! No! Why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that?
If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself. In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we also found traces of salt and sugar.
Salt and blood?
And only one of Mr. Dover's sherbet desserts tasted salty.
Come to think of it, I remember Miss Delicious saying the same thing 18 years ago. Oh, yeah, see, the sherbet was most delicious. Really? I wish I could have eaten some too. But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here in this photo. I was part of that liar.
That's the liar from the Gemini constellation. Exactly.
For some reason, salt had been mixed into the lyre. No other traces of salt were found in Dover's room. In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detected in lyre come from?
I don't know.
I mean, this is the only thing that says salt on it, right? This was the true nature of this salt. Presented me with such absurd logic. You filled my eyes with salty tears. Okay, I guess not. I can almost feel the cold salty tears flowing down my cheeks as well. This time, give us an explanation we can understand. Where did the salt detected lyre come from? It had to have come from food, right? Well, the only food we have is a chocolate. But that's not it. Where did the salt come from? Where did the salt come from? Where? The rock salt lamp. Oh, it's a salt lamp. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I'm so dumb. I am. I can be so dumb sometimes. The game literally says rock salt lamp. And I didn't put two and two together. That's the weapon he used to bash the head in, right? This is the rock salt lamp used as a murder weapon in the IS-7 incident. I believe part of this rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sherbet from the lyre. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Master's room. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. We know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind on the murderous lamp. However, there were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene, Mr. Master's room.
Ah, because the killer disposed of all his dirt to chase the blood into the streams of water, right?
No other traces of salt were found in Mr. Dover's room.
Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Mr. Delicious' room also broken?
It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken. Both of the light bulbs are broken. Oh wait, that's what's bad, I'm sorry.
Both of the light bulbs are broken. Maybe they were dropped on the floor? We never did figure out why the other rock salt lamp was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp.
If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, you would have been suspected. As the culprit, you would have need to conceal all traces of your blood from the police. Don't tell me you concealed it in the sherbet lyre. Exactly. The rock salt lamp and his blood were mixed into the sherbet lyre and hidden inside the glass case. Unlike the fountain's water, the sherbet desserts would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sherbet when the opportunity presented itself. I don't understand that. How would he put it inside? Like, how would his blood even get on it? If he used the salt lamp to bash in Dover's skull, how did he get bloody? You know? I feel like I'm missing something. Then, the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery. 18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and the evidence would be discovered.
So, you plan to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening?
Dang, Gustavia. Isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is.
Mr. Gustavia? Could it be? After all this time, my crime is finally brought to light. The prosecutors and defense attorneys 18 years ago never came close.
Alright, so you missed it, finally.
Bravo, bravo, well done, Sir Prosecutor.
So, you admit that you killed Mr. Dover?
It is true, I killed Isaac Dover. But he had only himself to blame.
What do you mean?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed that we'd share the angel's recipe. But on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back. Sir Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
I'm sorry, Gustavia. The deal is off.
What? But I made your desserts for you. I'm the reason you got this far.
And what of it? Can you prove that you assisted me in any way?
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along. Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my finals entry on my own. Just as Sir Prosecutor said, my son assists me every day until the finals.
What about your pride as a confectionery artist?
Proud chef loses the ability to taste his own creations. Well, that's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert, fast baking is my reason for being. It is my one and only pride.
Committing murder for the sake of pride. That's another feeling I will never understand. To say nothing of abandoning your own son. Such a thought disgusts me.
Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since that day, my son made nothing to me.
Wow.
From what I hear, he's still missing.
That's awful. Giving up on him like that? Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct?
Yes. And since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe. During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo of the cure to my taste disorder. It would have all worked out. If only Dover had interfered.
Gustavia. Trying to steal a picture of my prize, are you? Well, that hardly seems sporting.
You!
Cure for taste disorders. Oh. You have a taste disorder, don't you? This is rich. A pastry chef who can't taste.
Dover, you! Ah!
Puny worm. You are in no position to oppose me.
Why, you? When I attempted to hit Dover, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock salt lamps, and that was when my blood stained on it.
Okay, that was the thing I was missing. So, Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured?
To conceal my blood, I sheared away part of the rock salt lamp and mixed it into the sherbet. After that, it became a part of the lion sculpture.
So you tried to erase the traces from the crime scene.
Dover tried to blackmail me by using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum.
So, that's the reason why you killed Isaac Dover.
Exactly! What reason do I have to let those who struck me live? He was the one who drew the first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts.
So, that was his motive.
I carried the rock salt lamp that booked my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found.
I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sherbet.
Your dedication is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to share away the rock salt. I then proceeded to coat the surface of the sherbet lion with the vast amounts of salty mixture.
But why? Why did you try to pin the crime on Monsieur Master?
You are wrong to blame me for that, Lady Catherine. If not for your unnecessary meddling, Sir Master would not have been a suspect.
Huh?
Why do you think I hid the murder weapon in fluorescent cloth in Lady Delicia's room?
There is only one reason why you'd place a murder weapon in someone else's room. Oh, we intend to frame Delicia, not Master. You want to pin the crime on Delicia. Mommy!
Yes, that is correct.
Gusty, why? Why me?
As one is thought to be the world's best confectioner, I greatly respect it, Sir Master. It was never my intention to cast suspicion on him, but an insolent woman who dared to sully the contest with fake desserts. I had no problem letting someone like you take the blame for the crime.
That makes me sad. Yeah, I know, I probably changed her voice. Oh well.
If he had snacked on other people's desserts, the body would have never been found. It was when Sir Master would be judging Lady Delicia's room. Well, that's when I finally saw an opportunity to freeze the body, but before I could move the body, Lady Catherine had already discovered it.
Why? Why did you need to freeze Monsieur Dover's body?
Why indeed?
Monsieur Edgeworth, please tell us. Why would Monsieur Gustavia have need to freeze the body? Throughout the time of the death? Create a fake crime scene? Disguise it? It's probably to disguise it, right? Let me do the other ones first. Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. The time of death had coincided with the tea party. Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected.
That is correct.
Oh, that was the right answer.
Preparations were necessary to freeze the body. While I was preparing in Dover's room, I placed the body in the treasure chest in Sir Master's room. I could think of no better hiding place at the time. But thanks to that gluttonous pharmacist, the lid of the chest broke.
What, why did you disguise him in it? I just know she used her leg to pick up the bowl back in her hands. Once the body was discovered, there would be no time to throw out the time of death. To buy time, you need to hide it someplace else. How horrid! How could you hide Monsieur Dover's body within one of his own works?
It all would have worked out if the blood hadn't been discovered while it was in Sir Master's room. If everything had gone according to plan, Sir Master would never have been arrested.
So, because I discovered the body, it's my fault, Monsieur Master was.
Ah, Kate, don't take his words to heart. You and his suspicion hadn't fallen on Mr. Master. Mr. Listus would have taken the fall. No matter who he targeted, the one at fault here, it's Mr. Gustavia himself.
Yes, I agree with that.
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also a dunce. To think that he never reported the missing body to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor Von Karma indicted Mr. Master without knowing the body had vanished.
Well, I see. Well, that would explain why he looked so flustered at the crime scene. Although, something that would stand out if you read the official documents.
Could someone have intentionally distorted the information? At any rate, Mr. Karma found out about the missing body after he made his indictment. And if he had let one person be acquitted, he'd have a stain on his much pride-perfected record. That's why he concealed the fact that the body was hidden and had Mr. Master declared guilty. What are you saying? For 18 years, the man had taken the blame for your crimes? Don't you feel anything at all?
I don't care what you say.
Ah, what a monster! I'm arresting him right here, right now, sir! I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that will be impossible. Alright, here we go with the part that I was predicting earlier. She's gonna say this happened 18 years ago. The statute of limitations say that it's what? 15 years. And we're gonna have to show that he left the country to Zhang Fa, which put a pause on the statute of limitations. So the question is, was he out of the country for more than 3 years?
Wahahaha! So, you figured it out. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me.
What? But the culprit is standing right in front of us.
Wahahaha! Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't arrest me.
Why can't arrest me? It's interesting that he's doing this. I would think this would be a showdown with Judge Courtney. I guess he knows the laws very well. Yeah, I guess he knows the laws very well.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover.
But not well enough.
The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired.
The statute of limitations of murder? Is 15 years? Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do?
As long as the statute of limitations remains, arresting him is impossible.
No way! My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Neither Mr. Gustavia's testimony for your logic can be taken as official legal proof. The verdict of the trial 18 years ago cannot be overturned.
What?
What about the fact that Mr. Dover's body was hidden? Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gustavia, this should at least earn Mr. Master a retrial. Really? I wonder about that. Overturning a verdict of the goddess of law is much harder than you think. Is the PIC trying to justify the verdict from 18 years ago?
Wahahaha! How unfortunate, Sir Prosecutor!
Is there nothing I can do? Is there no way to continue pursuing Mr. Gustavia? Well, we need him to say that he's been out of the country.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover.
No matter how many years have passed, your sin will never fade.
Sir Prosecutor, I'm sure you must have realized by now. There's no way you could arrest me.
Arresting you would be a piece of cake for someone like Master Edgeworth. Isn't that right, sir? I don't think it will be that simple.
Wahahaha! It's impossible for you to arrest me. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not?
It is possible that some of your actions 18 years ago were not affected by this statute.
Wahahaha! It's been so long, I've got nothing left to hide. Ask me anything you'd like.
Very well. Could you explain to me what you've been doing these 18 years?
Certainly. After the contest, the minister from the recipe book allowed me to fully cure my taste disorder. I then immediately headed to Zhangfa to train my design skills.
Gotcha. So he wasn't seen ever since that case because he was in a foreign country? He's been gone for 18 years?
Indeed. Now I'm certain that I went abroad to train. About 1 year after that case. Right before Sir Master's final trial began. And thanks to my training, I'm now a confectioner unparalleled in both taste and design.
Wow, that's beautiful. You should not be proud of a position earned through the sacrifices of others.
You can't bake a cake without baking a few eggs. Sacrifice was necessary for my goal.
That's horrible.
Say what you will. The fact still remains that you cannot arrest me.
I had to get more information out of Mr. Gustavia. Was there anything of note in his recent testimony? His training at Zhangfa. Could you please add the details about your training in Zhangfa to your testimony?
Certainly. Afterwards, I trained in Zhangfa to become the world's best confectioner.
You trained in Zhangfa.
After the incident 18 years ago, I left on a journey. I had already decided to hone my candy crafting skills in Zhangfa. Thanks to that,
wow, nice dragon.
My design sense is incomparable to what it was in the past.
That's beautiful. Whoa, that's awesome.
You may have it if you'd like.
Oh, sweet. So, you trained in Zhangfa.
The statute of limitations of this country is 15 years, is it not?
It's possible that... Oh, okay, we've already done that. Hold on. I need to leave that one up because that one is the correct response. But I want to press him on everything else first. You know how I like to roll.
Here. In other words, it's possible for you to arrest me.
It's too early for you to say for sure that it's impossible.
Just give it up, Sir Prosecutor. Just like your father before you. You cannot catch me.
It was because of Aunt Karma's interference that my father couldn't find the truth. And now I'm about to lose the truth to the Statute of Limitations. Mr. Edgeworth, we can't give up now. Your father's last case. We have to see it through to the end. Kay, we can't let the culprit steal the truth. That's our job. As great thieves. I am not a great thief, but it is as you say. Dang Gustavia, I won't let you escape.
By all means, do try your best.
Okay, so that was the end of the dialogue, right? No, this one here.
I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired.
So, you confessed because you knew that the statute of limitations had already expired.
Of course. Who would convince otherwise? Well, I would have preferred to carry the truth of Dover's murder to my grave.
Why is that?
I'm now the world's best confectioner. I wouldn't want to have such a trifling matter affect my path as an artisan of desserts. So you let Mr. Master take the fall while you protected your own position? You alone I cannot forgive. My path is for me to decide. I won't need your forgiveness. Miles, it's been a long time since your Uncle Ray's been this angry.
I feel the same way. I cannot allow this man to go unchecked. I can see how he was able to escape justice for 18 years. Isn't there some way we could catch him?
Mr. Gustavia is an amateur at the law after all. He's no match for a real ace attorney. I'm sure there's some flaw in his plan that we can exploit.
An amateur at law, huh? Let's do it. We know exactly what to do. This one. Present the Statute of Limitations. One of the conditions regarding the statute of limitations for murder is as follows. If the suspect flees to a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. So the statute of limitations was suspended while you were overseas.
Huh?
That's right. Statute of limitations stopped while you were training in Zingfa. Indeed. It is possible that the statute of limitations has not expired yet. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us how long you stayed in Zangfa.
Exactly 3 years.
Aha! Ain't that convenient.
3 years? Wait, let's calm and think this over. The case occurred 18 years ago. The statute of limitations is 15 years, and he was away for 3.
15 plus 3 is exactly 18 years. I'm sure of it. Mr. Edgeworth, we did it. The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet.
Exactly 18 years, you say. How amusing.
So he realized. Well, why are you laughing? Statute of limitations still applies.
Kay, it's frustrating, but case occurred in December. It's April now, which means strictly speaking, case occurred 18 years and 4 months ago. His stay abroad wasn't quite enough. We were just a few months short.
What doesn't the limitation say something about the court case though? If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumed. And a possible accomplice was Master because he was charged as an accomplice. Therefore, it would have stopped for a year because the trial lasted a year. Not enough. That's...
like I said, it's impossible for you to arrest me.
I really should be stopping because I'm over an hour, but I can't right now. I mean, I feel like I'm so close here. He must have known all about this when he confessed to his crime. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it really is a shame. If it was just 1 year earlier, the statute of limitations would not have run out. Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. It seems you were simply incapable.
No!
This can't be the end. So, Monsieur Gustavia really is beyond the law's reach.
Ha, Kate, what are you thinking?
Objection.
Ha, if you're thinking of taking matters in your own hands, I implore you to reconsider. There still might be a way to bring this man to justice.
What?
Ha, Miles, remember the facts of the case 18 years ago? Just as you were mistaken earlier, it seems Mr. Gustavia has also overlooked one key detail.
Overlooked?
He wasn't present during Mr. Master's final trial, so he doesn't know the outcome of the trial. There may yet be a way for you to arrest him. Miles, look over that book on statute of limitations again. 17 years ago, Master was falsely declared guilty for a serious crime. Thanks to that verdict, we aren't out of ammunition just yet.
Mr. Shields, you don't mean...
Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict, they must bear the burden of their crimes. I am Mr. Master's attorney. Can't use the suffering as a weapon in good conscience. For that reason, I'll leave the rest up to you.
The trial my father and Von Karma battled over. Can I use that to arrest Gustavia? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Absolutely. We got this, my friends. We got this. We got this. We got this. My father and Von Karma, the paths diverged. Once revealed the truth, the other concealed it. The path that I choose is the one that reveals the truth. Oh boy, can we do this? I believe we can. I see no further reasoning to prolong this trial. I hereby find Dame Gustavia not guilty. Not so fast. Overruled. Yeah! Gustavia will stand in court for his crimes. Do you mean to say you have found a way to arrest Mr. Gustavia? Exactly. I'll show Judge Courtney the evidence that will shatter the statute of limitations. It's the statute of limitations. I submit this evidence to the court. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, I need to select the evidence that said he was found as an accomplice. Oh. I find it hard to ascertain its relevance, therefore I cannot accept it.
What?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I can see where your feelings are coming from, however. To see you struggle so intensely, it seems you don't know who to give up. I will never give up. The fate of this case rests in my hands. Yes, be filled with determination. Jeffrey Master's trial went on for 1 year. A year-long trial where the truth was fabricated. There must be one more exception to the statute of limitations I can use. The IS-7 case file, what page are you referring to? Case summary? No, suspect data. Accomplice to the murder. The suspect data page. At the trial, Jeffrey Master was found guilty of being an accomplice to murder. And it took 1 year to arrive at this verdict. Right, that is indeed true. This book lists conditions in which the statute of limitations can be put on hold. The first, as I've said earlier, is if the suspect flees to a foreign country. But there's one more. If possible, accomplices are on trial. The countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached.
What are you saying? Sir Master was found to be an accomplice? What?
That's right. Mr. Master was sentenced after you had left for your trip to Zing Fa. And he was found guilty, not of being the culprit, but of being an accomplice. But it seems you didn't know that.
That's absurd! Sir Master never committed any crime to begin with. You should certainly know this.
Of course we do. That is why we are going to free him. To that end, we will shatter the one remaining obstacle in our way, the Statute of Limitations. You better be sweating. You fled to Zhangfa for 3 years, and Jeffrey Master was being tried as an accomplice for 1 year. Put it all together, we see that the total time limit for the case is 19 years. In other words, the statute of limitations is not over for you yet.
Wah!
The goddess of law is unerring in her judgments. However, it seems that the prosecutor at the time was not. I cannot believe it, but it seems like the case will have to be reopened.
This is absurd! You cannot arrest me!
For the last 18 years, an innocent man has suffered greatly in your stead. Mr. Gustavia, it's now time for you to atone for your crimes.
No! I had finally earned my place as the greatest confectioner in the world! To achieve that goal, I cast everything aside, even my own son.
What a shame. You can't run from your crimes any longer. Alright, great. Double. Oh my god. Dang. Well, that was insane. It's probably one of the coolest breakdowns I've seen yet. That was amazing.
Dang, Gustavia's been taken into custody, sir.
Yeah, so you're up next, right? Yes, I understand.
Kate?
Everyone, I am truly sorry for all the trouble I've caused. And thank you very much for catching Monsieur Gustavia. What you did cannot be overlooked, even if the crimes you committed were in response to a past injustice. As a prosecutor, I am terribly sorry for what happened. No, I'm only getting what I deserve, since I was the cause of all this.
Kate, will you hire me as your attorney? I'm not quite the same useless kid I was 18 years ago. I won't let them find you guilty.
Aww. Oh, Monsieur Shields. Yes, thank you so much. Aww. Aww. What a great. Oh, that's great. And this music is amazing.
Sorry to interrupt. It's time to go.
Yes, alright. Judge Courtney, I can't help but feel that you've been dishonest with me. Dishonest? Whatever do you mean? You said that the verdict could not be overturned, but that was not the case. A reinvestigation and retrial were obviously required as soon as the missing body was found. I have no need to answer you. It seems she doesn't intend to ever give me an answer. There's something more at play here. Prosecutor Edgeworth, the PIC has you in its sights. They will receive a report on everything you did here today. And you most likely be required to appear before them. Now then, I shall take my leave. We will meet again. But I won't be stopped. Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth caught the real bad guy. Didn't he do his job as a prosecutor? No matter how things turn out, I will never regret what I did here today. Good for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Hey, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What is it? Why are you always sticking your nose into cases that you're not even involved with? My duty is to reveal the truth. Not only as a prosecutor, it's just who I am. So you become. I don't get it. As long as you continue to think that being the best is all that matters, I doubt you ever will. Well, I don't get that either. I'm going home. One day you will, hopefully. What was that all about? There is much he still needs to learn. Huh? Miley! Whoa, what is it? I knew Gregory's son could do it. I think I might be falling for you. Thanks for helping Jeffy. Well,
Hey, yo, Angie! Great job solving the case. Well, I was just busy drawing, so I really didn't catch all of it, huh? But you know, where did Katie and Jesse run off to?
Larice, you really weren't paying much attention at all, were you? Well, I hate to admit it, but Larry's doodles actually helped us out a few times. Indeed it did. I should say something nice to him.
Don't glare at me like that, I'm sorry!
It was not my intent to glare at you.
Hehe, that panic into its glare. You're just like your old man.
Is that so? Well,
well then. Uncle Vivi's gonna go pay Mr. Master a visit. You guys want to tag along?
I'd be happy to accompany you. Oh, me too. April 2nd, 4:56 p.m., Detention Center. Visitor's room. So, this Jeffrey Master, what's he like?
Oh, he's a really nice and gentle guy. He's still doing his best to make people happy. He actually cooks desserts for the inmates. Nowadays, all the prisoners and guards look forward to snack time at 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's nice. I want to use desserts too. So, the chocolate cake we saw in the prison the other day, he was the one who made it. Oh, Gummy, why are you here?
I heard everybody was coming to visit, so I escorted Mr. Master myself.
Hello, one and all. I am Jeffrey Master. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kay Faraday. Ho, it's a pleasure to meet you all.
Hi, Mr. Master. Miles is your old defense attorney's son.
You mean Mr. Gregory's? Oh, your father has done so much for me. And yet, I betrayed his good faith when I made the false confession. I've heard the details from Mr. Shields.
Hi, Mr. Master. I came here today to tell you everything we've learned about 18 years ago.
18 years ago? Kate committed a crime for my sake. Oh, why would she do such a thing?
Hi, Miss Hall has been trying to prove your innocence for the past 18 years. She was willing to do whatever it took to save you.
Kate, she shouldn't have gone through so much trouble for an old man who let her down. Mr. Master, I don't think you realize just how much Miss Hall cares for you. I have something here that clearly proves the two of you share an unbreakable bond. An unbreakable bond? Proof for the bond between Jeff Master and Catherine Hall. This should give Mr. Master some peace of mind. I'm pretty sure the answer is something that I'm thinking in the back of my head. Like, I was gonna go on and talk about how the used gas burner was never used in this trial. Because I thought the whole point of the chocolate was the chocolate had melted because she used the gas burner, which caused it to melt, but never happened. But The chocolates can be used here. These chocolates, did Kay make them? She did. They're really sweet and tasty. She's been making these chocolates for the past 18 years, so that she could give them to you whenever you returned. Oh, Kate! I'm sure they're very, very sweet. Yes, they truly are. Unfortunately, I cannot give them to you now, but...
I can hand them over later in secret, pal!
It is against the rules, but... right now, I don't have the authority to stop them. Oh, thank you very much. Say, you remind me of an old friend. You know of a Detective Bad?
Of course I do. Detective Bad is my #1 role model, pal!
How uncanny. Talk about fate.
Mr. Master. So, looking like we'll be able to get you out very soon. I can only apologize that it took 18 years to do so.
Raymond, I'm the one you should be apologizing. No, that's not it. What I really should be saying is... thank you.
Mr. Master.
Now it's my turn to wait for Kate. I'll make her favorite sweets every day until she returns. Please, look out to her, Raymond.
You got it.
The IS-7 incident, the case I inherited from my father. After 18 long years, it's finally coming to a close.
Miles, thanks for today. I'm sorry for leaving that final decision to you.
No, I made that decision of my own free will.
What are you talking about? To risk Gustavia, you had no choice but to use Mr. Master's false charge. To use Mr. Master's false charge, which I was originally supposed to protect from him. The attorney inside of me simply could not do it.
So that's how it was.
But after this, Uncle Ray Ray is going to try to clear away that false charge as well.
Yes, I understand. What? But if they find out about the false charge, they won't be able to arrest Mr. Gustavia, right?
That's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law.
So he's gonna get off because he was never an accomplice?
The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right.
Contradiction in the law?
Well, who knows what'll happen. The law evolves and grows, just like all of us do. Just like Uncle Ray Ray and Miles have grown up, you know?
People and the law both grow.
Miles, to fight crime as a prosecutor, or to save people as a defense attorney. I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on.
I will.
Well, if you ask Uncle Ray, you'll always be welcome down at the office. Alrighty then. Looks like it's time for Uncle Ray to get going. Next time I see you, I'll be sure to thank you again. How the dots. Really though, thanks for today.
See you later, Ray. Hopefully we'll meet very soon. Mr. Shields seems to be in a bit of a hurry. Indeed. I should be the one. Thanking him. I was able to face my father's last case because of him. When I was young, I wanted to become a great defense attorney like my father. However, under Prosecutor Von Karma, I learned the ways of a prosecutor. Thanks to a certain friend, I was able to discover my own path in life. However, right now, there are forces trying to take me off the prosecutor's path. Maybe now is the perfect time to think about how I should live my life. April 2nd, 7:29 p.m., Edgeworth Law Office.
Gregory. I'm sorry it took so long. It may have taken 18 years, but finally, proving Mr. Master's innocence. Miles, your son, helped me with that. The way he fought for the truth, it was just like you, Gregory. Aw. I'm still not the kind of attorney you were. But I will forever carry on the convictions I inherited from you. And if I can, together with him.
Aww. Aw, that's such a great ending. To fight crime as a prosecutor, to save people as a defense attorney. The path I choose is the end. Oh! That's such a good case. I liked it. Yeah, there's some things about it that a brand new episode has been added, the Forgotten Turnabout. So what for me was the big sticking points of the case. The big sticking points of the case was that Catherine discovered things that were necessary for us to find the criminal, and yet she didn't come forward with them. Like right away, she should have came forward with the evidence about Gustavia and the poison gas. I think it was either Enter or Green River who said that in the comments. Someone said that. But yeah, they're exactly right. She should have came forward right away. It extended the case longer than it probably should have. The other problem with the case is the obvious, which is the limitations. The fact that in order for us to get Mr. Master released, Gustavia has to go free as well. However, with that said, I really like this case, and one of the reasons I really like this case is because it really did a great job of further making me realize why I liked one of my favorite cases from the original Ace Attorney trilogy. And the story building, the character building, the world building, I mean, all of that, the 18 years from then and to now, all that came together in such a satisfying way. Yes, at the end, it's not as satisfying as we want it to be, but at least they recognize that. The game is flat out telling you, yeah, it's not perfect. I like that. It's sort of a self-reflection on itself. Yes, this case wasn't perfect, but you know what? It was great. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I want to thank you all for joining me on Ace Attorney Investigations 2: The Prosecutor's Path. One quick note that I would like to give is I have just enabled memberships on the channel. So if you would like to support our channel, you can do so via that way, or, always go around to our Patreon side and do it there. I have set up the same system on both sides as much as I can. The best way that you can help out is always just to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, tell other people about our channel, because the more we can grow, the more that I can, achieve dreams of doing stuff on this channel and showing off my passion and doing my passion. And I want to thank you all so very much. You guys are the best. No one YouTube community in all of YouTube. And until next time, my dear friends, so long and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.